You are now listening to a new episode of Man ShutUp. I am WallyWorld. Check this out. Season 4, episode 14. I'm here with the clan. That's right. No woo. My dogs. We gotta shout them out right now because I gotta get the business, guys. What's going on, Q? I don't like to tell you. Yes, my nigga. We got Shad over here in the cut. We got Mika in this thing. We got Celeste in this thing. And we got Jade in this thing. Now, you know, he's still my dog. You know, I gotta F with you. We got B White Rad in the back. He over here rocking those records. That's right, like Dollar Bill. Spin them records. The title of this one is Volatile Violations. That's right. We had this conversation last week. What was that, like beginning of November? We are now sitting at November 14th. We know this week right here is a very, very, very emotional week for me. For the ones who don't know, I want to shout out my grandmother for holding it down. That shit'll be running on 6 years, November 17th. I have a event to go to where my Cowboys are going to wipe the nose of the Panthers. I want to shout out a special somebody. Happy birthday to November 19th, because I know this is probably going to come out probably after the 19th. That person, that Scorpio, is a special someone. I tell you, I really value their friendship, really value and honor who they are, and I just wanted to tell them happy birthday. The title of that one is Volatile Violations. We in this thing. Now we sit here now, back to that said conversation. I wanted to bring it back up to speed because I realize there's a disconnect. Now I'm sitting here with the ladies and I'm telling you some beautiful, educated ladies that had a conversation where I had to chime in, and they was telling situations where they... Okay, let me rewind. So I asked them in the conversation, I said, how many of y'all beat y'all niggas? How many of y'all beat y'all dudes? And they sat there and all of them looked at each other with a side eye, because you know ladies don't really want to tell you the truth when they know they didn't put their hands on dudes when they ain't had no business. So I already knew how to just read the room, and I said, well, that means that every last one of you have put your hands on the dude knowing that you ain't had no business. And the question of that is why? Because one of them that I'm looking at right now is standing 5'3", 128 pounds, what you told me. And every dude in here is at least 6 foot and at least 175 pounds plus. And I want to say, what makes a lady think that that's a good scenario? Because one thing about our beautiful ladies is that you guys are good with business, money management, and numbers. And I don't think that those numbers equate to being in an advantage position. You 5'4", 128. I know your guy. He's 6'3", at least, and at least 200 pounds. And what make you feel like that? Then the only thing that I can come up with is that you know that there is a form of privilege, that you know that the law is going to be on your side first. And I feel like that is trash. Now, you my dog and I love you, but that is trash. Because one thing about me, a pet peeve of mine, is that it's a trigger alert that if a woman wants to get real handsy with me, rather if it's a joke or if it's being serious, I'm cutting your ass off. Because if it's not mutual, then I can't rock with it. Which means that if you can do that, I can do that to you. And I know that I'm going to probably overpower you more times than not. And I'd rather not, because I don't want to put my hands on a female at all. Rather through differences, uncircumstances, rather through laughter and jokes, rather through positivity. I don't need to put my hands on you. Now, yes, you would get yanked down. I'm going to tell you, I want to say, I'm going to say your name. But yeah, you would have been cut off in my book. But I mean, I respect him because I just can't get jiggy with that. Especially when I've seen domestic violence in my past. I've even been accused of it, and it had to really show its hand. I'll give you a transparent moment. I was an early 20-year-old, didn't touch a female a day in my life, and that's exactly what was told, because she was in her feelings and she wanted to get back at me. And so what she did is she told the law that's what I did. And yeah, they came and locked my ass up. Only to go to court 3 times, to go through waiting on her, and for the truth to really come out that I never touched her. Never at all. And that let me know right then that the law is going to always be on my counterpart's side. So I can't have no stereotype about that. It is what it is. Your word against mine. So I know not to do any of that. So if that's the case, I don't want you putting your hands all on me. I don't care about you talking about this is a joke. I ain't no joke. don't put your hands on me. And if you do, you're done. Because I can imagine for you, ma'am, you have a son. I know your son. Handsome little dude. But I know as a mother, you would tell your son that if a woman put her hands on you, don't hit her back. You also tell him to walk away. You will also say in those same breaths that nobody should put their hands in your face. Correct? I want all the mothers, all the ladies who would have children would say that that's the main thing that you tell your child, right? Give your moment. But in that same breath, you sit there and look at your homegirls and look around and say that there's a reason for you to put your hands on a dude. As if that man ain't got a mama who told him the same things. And that's why you're still standing upright. Because we know at 6'3" to your 5'3", we know that he would knock you so far back that this is November, he would knock you into Valentine's Day and you'll wonder why there's a rose near your bedside. Because you're in a coma. Volatile violations. You know this. And we know that testosterone, when it takes over, you can't stop that. I always wondered what made you feel that way. So the only thing I can come up with as a lady is that you've seen things like that before that it's been okay. Or you like that domestic shit. And I still gotta cut you off. Or you can't control your emotions. And one thing that I realized is that as you get older, simple things that are in front of you are exactly what they are. Which means that a lady does not understand that her silence kills everything. You want to get your point across? Listen, ladies, silence kills everything. Being irate and running around and knocking over stuff and yelling and screaming and fighting and swinging and throwing stuff, it's only going to make the dude know there's a reason why he need to cut your mom ass off. Or you own his dick way too much. That's right. You give a man a little bit more bravado, a little bit macho, and you give him the option to cut you off. Even though you might have been mentally just upset for a moment. Or it was a disagreement or a misunderstanding. And now you don't get that connection back to that dude because once he see that, he knows that you will always do that. It's just like you ladies, if you always see the dude whipping your ass, you would know that he's always going to be a known ass kicker. The difference is that guy that's a known ass kicker, you would tell all your homegirls and not name one of you will fuck with him. But there's girls like you and ladies like you that will whoop dude's ass and be cool with it with a badge of honor and expect the dude to still fuck with you even though you have those traits that you need to go fix. I don't see that being equal here. I wonder why. Because that is a volatile violation. Flag on the play. Guys, let her ass go. If she can't communicate, if she can't know how to be mad and take her space, if she don't know how to do that and the only thing she can figure out to do is put her hands on you, you let her ass go, bro. Don't hold around because guess what? If it was you, she would not do it to you. There are chicks right now who tried to be antagonizing, saying in the dude's face right now, go ahead, hit me, hit me, hit me. Knowing damn well if he hit you, you're going to be calling your brothers and your daddy and your cousins to come over. But to be honest, if the camera was in the room, they would look at you and see that replay and say, well, motherfucker, he should have knocked your ass out. You didn't tell all that whole story, did you? Because I guarantee you thought it was cool to slap first. See, one thing you don't realize is that you don't know nobody's past. In the same way that I can sit there and do the same thing to you ladies, you don't know a man's past. You might run into that dude who was a national ass beater, and now you done triggered that and he done fired off and knocked the bottom row of your teeth out. Anybody want to be Krishan? The thing is, that's okay though. You'll learn before it's all over with. And it ain't gonna always be because you feel like you've been disrespected. Because we feel like you've been disrespected in multiple ways. We just don't tell you. Because do you not understand that dudes really don't tell you what they really want to tell you because they know that'll hurt your damn feelings on the daily basis? That's right. But in that same volatile violations of handsy, you want to now be verbal because we know as men, verbal things that a woman say to them pierce them more. And sometimes you do this intentionally or non-intentionally, but it does hurt us. But we know how to hold our emotions together and keep it moving because your wordplay can sting. That's right. I've sat there in my lifetime, transparent moment in my past life, where I sat there and just said, yo, I think that's not a good outfit. And then she turned around and said, well, this about you. And it hurt, but you were just really being truthful and just trying to make sure that she's straight. I've heard, listen, but then you get thick skin as a man because the things that we hear on the regular basis, man, the little stuff that happens as you get older down the line does not affect us. It bounces right off. I am almost 40 years old and I've heard almost everything under the book from females. You know what? You're an asshole. Yeah. You'll know it all. F you. You ain't shit. I've had dudes way better. I've had dudes do more than this. This is mid-tier. You're not giving enough. I hope you die. I hope you choke on that. I hope you wreck. I hope you lose your job. We've heard everything. I've heard everything. I don't know about you guys. Have I heard? You heard it? My boy. Yeah. And you know what, as a dude, we sit back and be like, the same people that say, can I be transparent? Because I told you dudes don't really want to say what they really want to say. But if I go back into them times and I think what I knew now, and if I really want to say what I want to say now to those said people, I would have said, it's amazing how you wish so much death or so much hurt on me when I just had my dick in your mouth. No span of about 24 hours ago. What happened then? I'm sorry, that's very, put your kids to bed. I told you it's not for the children. It's not for the children. It's crazy how you can say that when you were just saying, I love you so much, this beat is so good, and oh my God, I'll be with you forever. Now all of a sudden your emotions change because there's a disagreement, a misunderstanding. Now all of a sudden, now you just think I'm the worst in the world. Girl, sit your ass down. Follow the violations. It's amazing. The same ones that said I wish that you would lose your job is the same way I probably back in the day wanted to say like your daddy did and he never came back home. And now you was sitting there being just as broke. I wish you died like your mama did? Or like your daddy did? You want me to die like that? You wish that? Or maybe like your brother did when the ops ran up on him. Yeah, when they pulled up beside him and they started blasting and he hit your niece and his baby mama and him and he didn't make it like that type of dad? Maybe that like that, maybe. You know what? You ain't shit. Oh, you know I ain't shit. You're not the right size neither. What if I said that? Well, what if I said like I ain't shit like your homegirl that's been in my inbox keep telling me how you ain't shit and that she wanted to fuck with me first? Would that deem me as being wrong? Could I say the same thing evenly? I've been fucking with you, but I've seen you have heard like your daddy like Project Grass, but that wig is definitely doing its work. Could I say the same things? I think I probably could. I'll be considered the worst dude in the world, but for you guys, it's still a volatile violation. Be careful what you do now. Be careful what kind of demons you really want to pull out on a dude now when you try that. Because one thing about us, we already warrior mentality and warrior spirited. So fighting is not a hard thing unless you got a bitch and Nick. And we call them bands. And anytime that a woman, fellas, that feels like she can just come to you and just start being Mike Tyson and boxing punch out game to you, that means she think that you's a bitch. Now the thing about me is, you better be careful with that. Don't let my kindness and my respect for women violate me knocking shit out around here. You better believe that I got it already in my blood, but I don't even want to mention that person's name and disrespect him as a man. But I got it in my blood naturally. It goes down the line from grandparents to this, third. I just decided to stop it because my mama taught me better. You better. You got that? Yeah, because I got granddaddies and them that was whooping ass and taking names. You understand me? But I didn't want to do that because I understand what respect is. Stay woke. It was okay back in the day. It's not okay now on both parties. If we had to feel like that in life, ma'am, if you have to feel like that in life, that's something that you need to really go back to the drawing board and figure out. Somebody's supposed to teach you that because our mamas taught us that. Especially we got the good mamas. Shout out to the good mamas out here. Shout out to my mama, I love you, baby. Shout out to my grandmother in the sky. I promise you, these 6 years was not in vain. I am moving your spirit forward by doing what I'm supposed to do, loving people, helping people, enjoying people, and changing the leaf that you wanted me to change 6 years ago. I hope you're proud. Follow violations. I really want you to understand how important that is. It's just never spoken upon because no dudes are going to the law. Right now, the pandemic, the assault charges and domestic violence went up to an all-time high because instead, while you was probably tearing his ass up, he had somewhere to go. He had a bar to go to, he had a homeboy to go to, he had a side bitch hit. Whatever the fuck he does in his life to make sure things keep cool. But instead, he in the house with your ass, and you kept doing the same rules, and he knocked you between the washer and dryer. And now you realize what type of dude you really didn't push those buttons on. At the end of the day, one thing that pressure breaks pipes. So I say for any human, there's never say never. But I can say I've never came to hurt any female in my life. I've came to be the best person, rather in a relationship or outside in friendships. Sometimes I find myself doing way more for my counterparts than I even do for myself or for my comrades. Because that's how much of respect I have for you guys. I want the respect done in the same way. Can I ask for that? Is that okay? Can you not read a room? Because one thing I used to always realize, the dudes who kick chicks' asses, they still got relationships. Why is that? You must want to do that tussling. The same ones who tell them stories about being domestically assaulted, they stuck around for years. That's right. Prisoners in their own crib. But the day that a dude don't want to touch them, they feel like that's their time to use the energy of that same man and bring it into this relationship or this situation. And don't understand, it can get worse. Because some dudes who don't like to throw them hands like to shoot guns. I think you've seen them news articles. I don't like to really say that, but we know that it exists. And for those guys who feel like they have to do that, if you feel like you have to do that, walk away, fellas. I don't want to talk to the guys, really. Call it a violation. Flag on the play. Unnecessary roughness, as we said before. 15-yard penalty. Repeat. First down. There's nothing wrong with going back to the drawing board if you see potential in her, but at the same time, you gotta know she has to gain your respect back. But in that time, you need to move on. We're gonna treat it like they would do us. If they do it one time, they'll do it again. Simple thing you need to do, fellas. Ask a lady, has she beat her nigga? Has she beat her baby daddy? Has she beat her boyfriend? Has she beat a past dude? You'll be surprised. And you'll realize that you need to go to Walmart and buy you a set of gloves. Most of you will probably be buying a lot of gloves in that house if you knew what she really not willing to tell you, because things right now are sweet. Just wait on it, guys. If that's your thing. I'm lucky I'm in a position where I don't have that issue. But I know plenty who have and think it's okay because they just in their feelings. But one thing I know, being in your feelings, when the reality comes, you'll hear that beep. That beep will be the sound of that machine next to that hospital bed. Or you'll hear the casket close and your soul is lifted. Be careful. It's getting wicked out here, and there's still a lot of good guys out here. 18 minutes in and I'm still sitting there thinking about it. A lot of things I could have said in my teenage years, because there's a lot of things that we could have done volatile, but we didn't, because we gave a lot of passes in our lives. Fellas, did we give a lot of passes in our lives to certain females, certain situations that we just said we could have pulled up, but we ain't think it was gangster like Birdman? But somehow, some way we didn't. For them to still live in a comfortable space, to still be who they wanted to be, to still grow the way you thought that they would, without laying one single hand on them. It's amazing how they say we are not mature. It's amazing how they say we don't care, and it's amazing how they say we don't love. Because one thing that a man don't take is disrespect. And it don't matter if it's from you, her, God, or his kids. That shit is a no-go. Again, thank you guys for listening. Like, share, subscribe, the notification bell, let them know what you thinking. Again, if you got music, business, and if you know to hit me, Flame, GameTime84@gmail.com. Let's give them your flowers while you living. Do you feel me? And as always, love yourself, love each other, be mindful, and be wise. And before I go, I gotta say it. I salute these ladies in here because we had this moment in real time. And they allow me to speak my piece as a man on this platform. But those same ladies that's in here, I would do anything for. Y'all know that, right? There's a lot of us, there's a lot of things that we've done behind closed doors. No, pause. Where we talk to each other, we broke some stuff down. I've allowed these women to be themselves, cry, emotional, however. And I think that my purpose as a man, that's what I'm supposed to be if I'm really a true friend. And I want to salute you guys. I've told you guys my story. I've told you guys my life that's in here. Even down to you fellas. My transformation, my transitioning, my purpose, my things. And I appreciate all of you guys for letting me do this in this journey. Especially in this week. And I also appreciate you guys for listening to everything that we have to say here on Man Shut Up. And before I go, you know I gotta say it. Peace and love. What's up? Appreciate you. Hey girl, love you. Hey, what's up my boy? Shit crazy, man. Hey yo, that was a hell of an episode. That was a hell of an episode. Come give me a hug, man. Hey, man, I'm glad you allowed me. Give me a hug, man. Oh, you my dog. Hey, man. At least you ain't like the rest of them. You know what I'm saying? But some of them, hey, they be all hands and abusive. But they don't even put their hands on their kids. At least I see you fire your son up. You be letting them know it's real. Some of them be over there trying to fight grown men and then mess around and their kids be running over them. Nah, fix that. Go do that first. Then you got parents running over them and homegirls and homeboys running over them and baby daddies and baby mamas running over them. They want to fight me. Nah, that ain't it. Wrong one.